one. He planted the seed in his wisdom, and out of the two dichotomies, the Roman church was built. So again, the question remains, what message was so urgent for Paul to send this letter? The urgency was the Roman church was in chaos because of misunderstanding and lack of harmony amongst the Gentiles and the Jews. Both sectors had gone astray. Despite the many privileges the Jews were granted, they wandered in spiritual dismay, and despite the justice that God had obviously shown the Gentiles in an attempt for morality, they also wandered in spiritual dismay. The letter of the Roman church has a very keen theological message. It seems as though God has to remind the Jews and the Gentiles that their power rests not in themselves. Everybody say, I don't possess the power. I don't possess the power. But within the confine of being God's righteousness, God's called, God's chosen, his elect, the ones that he justified and he glorified, the ones that he chose for life's transformation to happen through. He had to remind them that you belong to me. There is now no more condemnation. You have been called out of the law of sin into the law of freedom through Christ. Walk in it. Live in it. He says that no man can stand against you as long as I stand for you. In other words, don't focus on the other people. You focus on the purpose. I got the people. He's telling the Jews and the Gentiles, you and me, you got to come together. Gentiles, Jews, and God. There's a purpose in you, and there is work to be done. Everybody say, I know I got something to do. There's something similar between the church in Rome and the church in Northeast and the church in Southeast and then the church in Brentwood and the church in Clinton, Maryland, and all the other demographics. But what is that common ball? What is that similar thing? Many of us forget that the power of life, the very power of life, the essence of power resides on the inside of us. And God dares anybody to come and try to snatch it away from us. So let's go back to Romans 8:31 through 34, just so we can be explicitly clear. What then shall we say to these things? If God is for us, who could be against us? He who did not spare his own son, but delivered him up for us all, how shall he not with him also freely give us all things? Who shall bring a charge against God's elect? It is God who justifies. Who is he who condemns? Not us. That ain't our place. We might think we're overly holy and righteous. We might look at other people and say that's the devil in them. But guess what? Who is looking at us and saying that's the devil in you? That ain't for us